Hello, darling hearts. It's Gaps Coach Emma here in my scrubs because I need to get out in the garden and plant vegetables. But I just woke up and beautiful sunny day. Thank God. It's been so miserable and cold, that northerly wind. And I thought, right, need to do a bit of a stretch. And first thing in the morning, right, just woken up. I can already see if you can see my feet. See my feet. Right. Hands flat on the floor at 55. I reckon it's because I went low ox about 18 months ago, and going low oxalate takes all the inorganic minerals out of your body, or it helps to get the sum of the inorganic minerals. And it's like we're all turning to pillars of stone, getting calcified from these oxalate crystals, which I think are being vibrated by the Wi-Fi and various other frequencies and who knows what potential sound harming rather than harmony. Sound can harm as well, not just sound but also EMF frequencies and whatever. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, you know, from the last live I did was about my wand, my magic wand, my wagic mond. And the spoonerism for you there. The electroculture with I made a kind of caduceus with 2 copper wires coiling around a staff, right? And as I was making it, I had this revelation that it was like the caduceus that Mercury runs around with. And we can all have one if you want one. Make sure you use it for the right reasons. But and then, you know, that was like, wow, magical revelations. Oh my God. And then, you know, a few days later, it's like, is this my life? Everything seems to have gone wrong. There's nothing magical about my life, it seems, right now. My dog escaped and ran away. He was right on my heels. I went in for supper. Hour and a half later, I get a call from someone, a neighbour, going, your dog's on his way to Deauville to the vets. He's been taken by a lady who didn't know, you know, because my phone wasn't working because of being capped, you know. Oh my God, he ended up in a vet. I had to pay €100 to let him out of jail. What the... So then I was like, right, Jack, that's it. Balls are coming off, because he was basically sniffing his way down the beach going, there must be a bitch on the heat round here somewhere, right? So he's been a troublesome little yappy, gorgeous, lovely dog. I love him, but I've had to have his balls taken off. So that was that. It cost me loads of money. Then, yeah, it cost me €100 to get him out of jail from the vets. And then took him to another vet's and got his balls taken off. I know, it's funny, isn't it? And then, you know, he's recovering really, really well. He was lying in the garden, you know, stretched out in the sun. And one of the chickens came through the gate where I had the gate open, where I was barrowing compost and stuff. The chicken came in the garden, you know, like that. And I was like, whoa, you get out. You know, they're scratching up all the tiny little seedlings at this time of year. They can wreak havoc, and like, you know, all your hard work of the last 6 weeks can be totally trashed by a chicken in seconds. So I was like, get out of my garden, you chicken. And of course, Jack heard his master and went, I'll sort the chicken out for you, Mum. And started just like legging it around the garden, chasing this chicken. It was flapping and clucking and treading all over all my... Anyway, I was like throwing myself around going, no, Jack, stay, wait, stop. You know, but he thought I was encouraging him. I don't know. Anyway, in the end, he caught the chicken by the tail feathers, thank God, not by the neck. Feathers everywhere in my greenhouse. And I grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and made him let go. And anyway, threw him back in the house and went, right, no more treats for you, buddy. And the chicken luckily walked away alive. It was like, oh God, it was awful. I threw myself around like a teenager around the garden, skidded on something, and I've actually hurt my knee a little bit. I twisted it. But I was quite gobsmacked actually at how at 55, I was legging it and throwing myself around, putting my legs between him and the chicken, you know, nearly doing the split, slipping on something, I don't know what, and I've relatively unscathed. Thank you. I believe that's because of the food as the medicine that I've been using for the last 15 years. Anyway, not magical, mundane excitements. I've got a glue down my sink, right? It's been there probably since last summer. The plumbing's 15 years old, you know. So you drain the sink, and then after a while it goes glue, 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 glue. And you can actually go to the hardware shop, the DIY place, whatever, in France, and it'll have literally a bottle of something that sorts out glues. Bit of onomatopoeia for you there. Anyway, it didn't sort out the glues. I used caustic soda, I used a calcium decalcifier thing, hot vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. It's supposed to be brilliant for blocked up drains, but these drains are just... Anyway, so I've got no sink, no dishwasher, mundane, you know, not magical. I've got no access to a kitchen, can't really function, and I've got a retreat happening shortly, so I'm a bit like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Anyway, trying to get a plumber is like, you know, plumbers are like hen's teeth these days. Where are all the plumbers? You want to always, you know, have a good source of income and always have work. Become a plumber. I feel as though I'm a kind of like a human plumber because I help people unblock their colons when their colons get stuck and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's delayed me going home, and I'm really missing my kids. It's like a complete farce here at the moment. And then I wake up to a YouTube strike. Like, censorship is alive and well. This was from some interview that I did with someone that private. It's not even publicly published on YouTube. It was a private interview that I did with someone to help them. And then I sent them it, but so I uploaded it to YouTube to send it to them. It's only theirs. No one else can see it. It's only one person can see it, and still they gave me a strike. So I thought, well, I'll just delete it straight away. And then, but the minute you delete it, you're not allowed to appeal it. So they've got you by the short and curlies every which way they like. I don't even know what I said. I don't even know what I said that broke that community guideline. Blah. But censorship is alive and well, people. So, you know, make sure that you, you know, when you find something precious that you think, wow, that's really interesting and I need to keep track of that and I want to know what, you know, make sure you find a contact other than the social media, right? And make sure you be in contact with a mailing list or, I don't know, other means. I'm looking to eventually, you know, shun Facebook and these nonsense social media platforms, but for now I'm using them to reach the normies and the people who are like, something's going on but I don't know what it is. And then you know people who've been questioning the narrative for 20 years like me who can smile and wave in the face of the horror and the terror and, you know, just kind of get on with it and remain high vibration. You know, we can hang out. And then people feel better because it's like, oh, it's going to be okay. There are solutions. I'm just going to do a live this evening with Laura Nina at 7 p.m. UK time, who's got some great stuff on her page about how we can use fresh information and historical information within the legal system to educate our own legal system, to re-educate our own legal system who've been using it wrongly. You know, she's very keen on promoting peacekeepers.org, which is nothing to do with the UN. It's peacekeepers.org.uk, who are great. And who did she just have on? She just had on some very interesting guy talking about council tax and how when they spend our money illegally on wars and things that we can hold them to account. So it's very interesting. So yeah, see me this evening at 7 p.m. with Laura Nina. We'll have a nice live and you can ask questions if you like about gut health and all that jazz. And then what are you doing on the 2nd of June? Because we're going Nutrient Nirvana's weekend in the woods. We're going to go and hang out with Mark Atwood and Dr. Margaret Bevington and some other gorgeous, lovely, really interesting people. And just camp and sit around a campfire and play our ukuleles and, you know, and I'm going to bring my little shamanic drum. And we can have a laugh and talk and put the world to rights and things like that. Anyway, darling hearts, we are mundane, you know, everyday 3D earthlings, right? Shit happens and pipes get blocked and, you know, communications get cut off and... dogs chase chickens and, you know, there are stresses and strains. But when you're really well nourished, you can handle all this rubbish and you'll still have the flexibility. Meow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll still have the flexibility to be able to cope with all of these different things that come flying at you left field and different angles. You just be like, oh, ninja styly, I can handle it all. Because when you're well nourished, you don't suffer with the stresses. When you're slightly malnourished, you become a little bit anxious. Your body's like, shit, this isn't quite right. I haven't quite got enough ingredients to actually give my cellular function a proper kind of go. I'm not quite working correctly. Can you please go and get me some more minerals, please? Or some more fats, more importantly. You know, your body's feeling anxious because it's little bit starving if you've been eating the opiates of the masses and the rubbish. So, yeah, steer clear of that nonsense. You don't need the slave foods. Anything that's created industrially is there to slow you down and, you know, make you a bit dumber and a bit slower and, you know, not so quick-witted, so that you're easily told stories, and then you live, you know, you live long, but you're always a little bit not very well, and then you're a really good customer for Big Pharma. Okay, so let's not go there. Let's just do it the other way. And I can't see you all there, but I can see there's some lovely people there. So hello, darlings. The sun's in my eyes. Anyway, I'm going to get out in the garden and plant stuff. I'm going to plant some squash and courgettes and tomatoes today because the sun's finally shining. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and yeah, see you at Nutrient Nirvana's Weekend in the Woods, which is the 2nd of June, or see you at Laura Nina's live this evening at 7, or see you in my Timeless Cookery Club, and we can hang out together and put the world to rights there as well. And I've got lots of other modalities that aren't just GAPS that you really need in your medicine cabinet. Okay, I love you. Lots of love. Bye.